Hey everybody, what is going on? Serial Overdrive here, and we are back. We're doing more Atrox hunting because I just can't lose. I'm feeling like I go out and start shooting and just make money head over heel. It's crazy. I don't know why. I don't know why this is working, but it really is working just amazingly well. So in my mind, I'm like, why stop? Why do I want to go anywhere else? Why do I want to do anything else? Like, when I'm in Entropia, I'm going to be hunting Atrox because right now that's working for me. I'm making a profit off the TT value alone, and that's crazy. Like, right now, I literally have a problem that I've never had in Entropia Universe. I need to get PEDs out of ammo, and I just keep getting more PEDs and ammo. So I'm like, all right, I need to use... I've got like 150 PEDs in universal ammo right now, like not even counting what I'm shooting through now. And it's sitting in my inventory, and for the past couple days, I've not pulled from it. I just keep adding to it, because I'm like, all right, well, I want to do a 50 PD run. I convert all the shrapnel I got from the last hunt, and it's like, oh, all right, well, we've got to put another 20 PDs of ammo onto this stack here in the inventory that I'm trying to drain. It's crazy. It is crazy right now, folks. I don't know why. I don't know what is going on, but what we're going to be talking about today is a loot pool theory. So I'm going to give you guys a few theories on what might be happening and what a few people have mentioned might be happening to me. I've talked about this in some of my longer sort of Twitch streams and everything like that, but necessarily not everybody who is watching this video is going to be interested in those longer Twitch streams. So for those of you guys who aren't watching, and those of you guys who are, maybe there'll be something new, this video is for you. Anyways, let's get into it. So, as far as loot theory goes in Entropia Universe, there's a few theories that over the years have been proven to be true, and then they've changed, okay? So one theory, originally, mining used to come in veins. You could find a bunch of mining claims, and then you could mine along those mining claims, and you'd get sort of a line, okay? Like a vein of ore in the earth. What happened with this is a lot of miners could easily become professional miners because players were paying a lot for craftable items. So you'd find a vein of a high level, high sort of markup or antimatter, and then what you do, you put on your amplifier and you just mine along that vein. Now originally when this came out, there was no such thing as amplifiers, so it was a little bit harder to do this, and as the game progressed, as sort of things came around, I believe that what happened is people started using amplifiers. It was really messing with the markup, it was messing with everything, and Mindark said, hey, we can't do mining veins anymore. They didn't tell anybody, it didn't happen, they didn't say like, hey, we're done with this. But what happened is a lot of people who were mining and making a huge profit daily realized, hey, we're not making that profit anymore when I find a line of, I'm not finding lines of claims, right? Because it used to be you go from one claim to the other and you could sort of figure out what direction everything was going, okay, if that makes sense. So you just have your little map out here, you see your claims and you see they're all going north. So then you know the next claim you find is probably going to be either north or south. You don't go east or west. You just run along that line and you keep finding claims and life is good. And when you find something that has a high markup, nice, we got skill boost there. What type of skill boost? Let's see. 26% in laser weapons, don't really care about that. But what you'd find though is that you could get these you could get these lines going and you can make a ton of money. And people are loving it, especially with markup, because it's like you find a line of narc, which at the time was like 140% or something. You put on your best amplifier, and now you're making 20% a claim just because of markup. It was obviously messing up the universe. It was messing up like just the loot pool and everything like that. So Mindark sort of scaled it back and said, hey, we're not doing this anymore. And like I said, they didn't say it, but you sort of knew it because you weren't finding lines of mining claims anymore, so you knew it wasn't a thing. And that's one of the things where if you notice a lot of players, if you watch some of the really, really old videos, they don't go back and mine their claims until they're done with their mining run. And the reason for that is because they used to look at their maps and they'd see sort of an outline of where the claims were going, and that would really help them figure out where to mine next. That was sort of abolished way back in the day. We're talking 2000s, not even 2010s. We're talking 2000s. So this is almost over a decade ago that this was abolished. But it was a thing. It was a thing. That was a loot pool theory that was correct. The next theory was waves. You get waves of loot going through these mobs, and at different times, if you could time it right, if you could watch the globals, watch the waves, watch all the statistics, you could figure out when a mob was going to loot. And based on that, you could go out, you could hunt at the right times, and you could make a profit. Here you're not making profit off of the loot per se. You're not making a profit off of markup, but you can go out and you know, hey, this time is going to be hot. This time is going to be amazing. It's time to head out and get some good loot. And people took advantage of that. A lot of people were doing it. It was a theory that I heard of the theory maybe like a year or two before Mindark admitted it was a thing. So what happened was basically this theory came out. Everybody was doing it, and slowly more and more people figured it out. The person who told me actually asked me not to make a video about it. I didn't fully understand the concept anyways, so I'm just like, alright, cool. And eventually the concept went mainstream. Too many people were doing it. Like, Mindark doesn't care if 1 or 2 people exploits the system. It's not even an exploit. That's how it's designed, right? If you're smart, if you think things through, if you know what you're doing, you can get that edge and make that money. It's the same as like poker or anything. It's a game of skill, and that's why it's considered a game of skill. So that was like loot waves, okay? That was loot 2.0. And what happened then is basically Mindark sort of reset it. I believe that was what Loot 2.0 was all about, and waves are no longer a thing. So in this whole video, I've given you a history of the loot pool and not told you how the loot pool works. Now, what is Mindark currently doing? That's the question that a lot of people are asking. That's why a lot of you guys are at this video, and we're 6 minutes in, so it's sort of shitty of me to give you a history, but I feel like by giving you the history, I'm allowing you to think about the way it was in the past, and maybe help you to think about how it is now. So one thing I've noticed with this, okay, Atrox, I always go out around the same time, and I always seem to get the same results. When I go at a different time, sometimes I see the same results, sometimes I don't. Again, I'm doing smaller runs, so it's harder to tell, but I've just been sort of keeping mental notes and all that, and over like 2,000, 3,000 PEDs that I've spent here, I've definitely made a profit, and that's not normal. Now, I think part of it could be a time thing. It could be the fact that I'm coming on at the same time, usually almost the same day, and hunting these guys. And that could definitely be part of it, right? That could be part of the reason I'm making money with these Atrox. The other thing that I'm thinking is, I think this is actually true, because after I said this, the loot went up. I think that when I said this area was profitable, a lot of you guys started coming here to hunt. And I'm guessing that I'm a little bit more eco than most of the players who are watching my videos. So I think that a lot of people who watch my videos, and this is no secret, are newer players. They're not the old, they're not the Ubers, because if you're an Uber player, if you're elite, you're watching my videos, and a lot of the stuff I'm getting it right, but I'm not getting it right in your mind. You're like, well, no, he's wrong. Like, there's way better ways to do this. He's not using the best gun. He's not hunting anything crazy. Oh, he got 10 PEDs of loot. Who cares? I get 10 PEDs every 2 shots. It's like, they're watching these videos and like, eh. Maybe some of them like them. Maybe some of you guys watching now are Ubers. Thanks for watching. But a lot of them, I feel like they're probably viewing that. And if I tell them, like, hey, this is a profitable area, they're going to use more analytical thinking. They're going to say, like, hey, I've been in this area. I know the loot isn't that good or whatever, right? I think that's sort of the way they're looking at it, okay? They're going to look at it more analytically. They're going to know these areas, and they're going to know the loot pool. Whereas a lot of the newer players, when I suggest an area, they're going to come here because they're desperately looking to make money. They're desperately looking to not lose. And that's what I'm trying to help them do, don't get me wrong. But I think when I recommended this area, it had an adverse effect of people coming here were playing uneco. People are coming here burning through armor decay, they're burning through ammo, and they're not getting the same results as me. Either their guns are too low, and it's taking them longer to kill, so they're getting a lot more armor decay, they're dying in between kills, they're dying during kills, there's a lot of money that's lost that way. They're firing shots that they can't really finish off, so they're shooting a mob, and then they're just getting killed and being like, oh man, that sucked. And I think like there's a lot more decay going on here that's sort of not stupid decay, but just uneco decay. Okay, they're coming out here because they want to hunt these mobs because hey, Atrox are pretty cool. I think they are at least. You're hunting dinosaurs. Like that's awesome. I want to hunt dinosaurs in real life. This is how Jurassic Park starts. But we'll go into that theory another time. Nah. Anyways. Yeah, like people come out here, they're spending a lot of money, they're losing a lot of money, and I think what happened is because these people are coming out here, they're more on eco, they're losing more. When you play eco, someone like me, right, like I've got my armor, pretty decent armor, there's no markup on it, it decays just enough, but not too much, because what you're going to see is I'm taking enough damage here, right, like I'm not taking all of the damage, some of the damage goes into my avatar and I can heal through it. And that's an extremely eco practice. You want to take some damage because you're paying for the damage that goes to your armor and not for the damage that goes to you. So if you can reach that sort of equilibrium of, hey, I take some of the damage but not all of it, awesome, your armor's not decaying, right? I've got an A203 amplifier. That's an extremely eco amplifier. It's really good. It's really eco. So like that gives me an edge. The gun, still skill increase bonus. My gun is not doing amazing. Like this is the most uneco part of my setup. Like take a look at it. See, like I'm getting close. I'm almost there. I'm 2 damage points away, but I'm not fully maxed out in this gun. And as I get a little closer to maxed out, that's giving me a little bit of an edge. So if you're coming here, your gun's a little bit lower than mine. You don't have the same amp as me. You're taking a little too much armor damage. You're dying. You're healing more. That loot could be going into the loot pool. And this is sort of where this theory is going to come into play, where everything's going to come full circle and you guys are going to be like, oh, that's it. I think that because I sent people here unknowingly, and I really didn't know this until this happened, I sent people here who are less eco than me. Those people who are less eco are contributing to the loot pool, and I think loot pools are specific to mobs, okay? And maybe, ooh, nice loot there. And maybe even, oops, let's go up to this guy. And maybe even what's happening is that loot is going to the Atrox loot pool, okay? And I think, so here's what I think. I'm going around and around in circles here, sorry. I think that the loot pool, this is the Atrox in Jura Plateau. This is my guess, and it could be wrong. I think the loot is going into Jura Plateau, specifically into the Atrox, and it's coming back out to me because I'm more eco than most people. So Mindarf's rewarding me for that. They're comparing my eco to your eco to the next person's eco, and they're dividing out the loot based on that, based on efficiency. I don't think you're getting rewarded for being more efficient. I think you're getting rewarded for being more efficient than the next guy. So if you look at this, okay, every gun has an efficiency on it. Let's check it out. So you can see my efficiency right here, 67.9%. And I think if my efficiency on this gun is higher than most people's, and a lot of people are going to be lower than this. A lot of people are using, so if you just look at this gun normally without the amplifier, 63.2%, okay? And some people, if you're not maxed out, maybe you're even less. If you look at some of these guns, these are new player guns, 55.3%. So as you get higher and higher skilled, your guns get a little bit more eco. And you can use the gear that you've got and everything like that to make them more eco. So I think what's happening is my efficiency is higher than the average player who comes here. So I'm getting a percent of the loot pool based on the efficiency of everybody who's hunted here. Maybe in the past 24 hours or something like that. It's probably a running total. And because my efficiency is higher than the average person's efficiency, I'm getting a higher payout of the loot pool. And I think that is why I've been profiting here more than sort of some of you guys. Because some of you guys come here and you say, hey, Serial, like, the area is okay, but it's not doing great for me. But then in the past few days, minus this run, I haven't had any good luck this run, but the past few days I've been like, man, I'm getting globals here, I'm getting huge hits, I'm getting 49 PD hits, 35 PD hits. This is crazy. And I think there's a percentage. I think what it is that there's the loot pool pays out a percentage, and that percentage of like hits, there's like ranges, right? We know there's ranges for mining. There's poor, very poor, small, all that. I think your chances of hitting those like different ranges in hunting are based on your efficiency. So if you have 67% efficiency and the average efficiency for the area is 60, you get a 7% higher chance of hitting an ample or hitting a great hunting run claim on an Atrox, on an individual mob. And I think because my chance of hitting is higher, that means that when I go and spend these 50, 200 PD runs, I'm more likely to get those globals, I'm more likely to get those big hits than the average person. And likely what happens is, so I saw the loot decrease in loot 2.0, probably because a lot of the newer players were confused and they just sort of gave up the game or they went to something else. You're left with all the older players that are out hunting, and that leads to loot pool decreasing. It's the same with events and anything like that. We know that loot goes up generally during Merry Mayhem because people are being more wasteful. Their efficiency goes down, so their kill rate can go up. And that's going to lead to better loot for all of us who have better efficiency. And I think that I'm starting to get a picture of how this works. I think I'm starting to get a picture of how the loot pool is playing out. And I'm not 100% sure if the loot is based on just hunting Atrox, if it's based on the area, if it's based on the area and the mob. That is sort of the piece of the puzzle that I really don't know, that I can't piece together. But I think I might have figured out how efficiency plays a role in it, just through you guys and through me unwittingly tricking you guys maybe into giving me loot. Like, I was talking about it on stream, and I'm like, I really hope this isn't the case, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, I think it's the case. I think I did something a little shitty. But at the same time, like, I don't know. Let me know what your results are. So when you guys come here, when you guys come to Jura Plateau, or when you guys are hunting Atrox, what is your efficiency at? I want to know this, because this is really going to help piece it together. What is the efficiency on your gun at? So like this number right here. And how's your loot looking? Are you getting good loot? Like, I'm getting really good loot. So I'm just like, alright, like, I'm getting good loot. This is my efficiency. Those of you guys who have a similar efficiency to me, on average, if you come to Jura Plateau a lot, if you're spending like 1,000 plus PDs here, not losing, but like 1,000 PDs of ammo plus, are you on average finding good loot? Are you losing money? I really want to know, because this is going to really help me piece this together, and hopefully together we can actually figure this out and try and piece together the loot pool. Maybe I don't know how this could actually be an edge. Okay, that's one of the things, right? Maybe you can figure out like where newer players are hunting and try and hunt the same mob as them, but at a higher efficiency. There's a lot of ways you could go about this. And this also might explain why a lot of people go to Camp Icarus and say, hey, I went back to Camp Icarus, I'm level 20, and man, this place is just a profit zone. It might make sense, because their efficiency's higher on that gun, right? So their efficiency's higher. Maybe they have an amp on it, they're getting that extra boost, and now all of a sudden they're going back and they're like, man, this area is amazing. But of course, there's something to say about overkill and everything like that. So like, just because I go with the most efficient gun and I go kill something that I can kill in one shot, doesn't mean the loot pool is going to be better, because then I'm wasting more. So there's a more advanced element to these calculations. I'm not sure if armor counts. My guess would be armor is thrown into the loot pool, but it doesn't count against or for efficiency. It's just something that you're losing on top of it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very interested, though, to hear what you guys think. I'm interested to hear your theories and hear why you guys think I'm wrong. Because I always like to hear that, right? A lot of people, they think I want to hear everybody, like, sort of confirm that I'm the best person in the world. Oh, I just took one shot at that thing and ran out of ammo. I'm headed back. That's my sign. No, we're going to do it. Because I'm just thinking, like, it would be awesome if I could get, like, that walk-off global. I don't think it's going to happen, but let's see. We'll give this guy one kill, and then we're going to head back. But yeah, I really want to know why you guys think I'm wrong, because that's going to help me. I want to know why if you guys think I'm right, if this matches your results, because, again, that's going to help me. And I want to hear your theories behind it. It's been a while since I've done one of these loot theory videos. I know a lot of people like hearing that. So, like, this is my most advanced loot theory to date. This is literally the best I could come up with as of, like, Loot 2.0 and beyond. Hopefully it sounds somewhat right to you guys. Hopefully it matches with your experiences. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have said they don't think efficiency has anything to do with it, but it must. And just based on some other results I've heard, this would make sense. So for instance, if everybody's amped up and everybody's like, if everybody is an A203, then nobody's going to be making profit off having an A203. But if only a few people have it, then a lot of people are going to make profit. Then those few people are going to make profit off of it. So I think it makes sense. And it would also explain why, if there's a bug or if something's like decaying too much, too little, or anything like that, why it's going to affect the loot pool. Because if everybody's doing it, then you're not going to see those results. But if you're the one person that has that item, the one person that has the edge, then you're going to see it. And if you look, my efficiency on this amp overall is 84.4%. So for those of you guys wondering why it's so great, why I'm like, this is probably my edge, that's why. 84.4%. Let's compare that to A202 or A102. That's 83%, okay? And then you've got stuff like the A104, which is 83.3. And each of these amps is for bigger and bigger guns, which allows you to hunt bigger and bigger mobs, which is, if it's divided by a loot pool, means that you can more efficiently hunt bigger and bigger mobs. So that's why, like, I think an A101 can't compete, because it's just not going to have the same effect on the gun. Anyways, hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully I'm not just talking crazy, but let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you agree with me or not. This was definitely not a good run for me. But we'll add it up anyways. So yeah, like I was talking about loot pool, why I was making so much money, and of course I have a bad run. But overall, you guys have seen some of my other runs, and like this is just a sort of fly in the ointment, if you will. It's not indicative of the whole run being horrible, or the whole area being horrible, or my results being incorrect, because this would apply. Like you can still have bad runs. There's still a percent. There's still a chance that happens. It's just that chance is sort of affected by your efficiency. I don't know why this thing's shooting. That's annoying. Alright, so there we go. So we're already down 18.64 PEDs with armor and everything like that. We are down a total of 34.93 PEDs. So that wasn't the greatest run. That wasn't amazing or anything like that, but it's got to happen, right? There's got to be good runs. There's got to be bad runs. Just because you have a bad run, it doesn't disprove what you thought. And just because you have a good run, it doesn't prove that you're doing things right. You've got to see it time after time after time, because that's sort of the true test, right? It's a true test of time. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.